Hey everyone, this is Bailey from the EMH, and I'm back with another Elephant Money video. And guys, today I'm going to be going through the trunk token. So some trunk updates, all right? I get that requested a lot. And, good news, guys, is that the Elephant Money system is firing on all cylinders right now in our recovery, powered by the futures contract and our Elephant tokens explosive growth. And, things are going to be looking good in the future for Trunk and for our system to be getting back to a steady state where Trunk is going to be at peg worth $1, right? So we are getting there and making good progress in our recovery. All right. So guys, yeah, if we just take a look, guys, our treasury right now has been on a tear and it's at $26.6 million. And if you notice, guys, it is starting to catch up to the Trunk supply. All right. So Trunk was originally designed to be an over collateralized stable coin. And what had happened was with the exploit, that was able to kind of shrink the value of our treasury down so that the APR that supports the trunk token was no longer the correct size. It's no longer over collateralized. All right. So our mission is to kind of rebuild that treasury up. And we're getting to the point where we're going to start to see parabolic price appreciation at a very nice scale for our elephant token. All right. And that's going to just bring the value of the treasury skyrocketing back up with it. So we'll be able to then kind of see, that those peg support strategies like really in full strength. All right. So exciting stuff that's on horizon, guys. So if you've been big into Trunk and haven't been, kind of just wasn't following the rest of the recovery or anything, you definitely want to tune in, reconnect with the herd. All right. So click here, join our Telegram group. All right. And, we don't want you to miss out on just kind of, all the prosperity and great progress and great gains that we've been making through futures and elephant. And in turn, we're going to be able to snowball that and eventually get our system back rocking and rolling on the most epic comeback journey in a DeFi. All right. So Elephant Money, you want to check it out, guys. All right. So for Trunk, okay, today what I want to show you guys is just some of the key new features that had been put into place and how they're going to actually interact with the system to kind of keep peg when we're there. All right. And one of the things that I'm super excited about when I started like digging into this video was the redemption queue. All right. And how it's actually going to work. We haven't seen that because it was implemented after the exploit, how it's actually going to work like at peg. All right. And it's going to be like really cool. Okay. So, all right. So guys, Trunk update. All right. So, so for the products, guys, that use Trunk right now, all right, Elephant Money Farms. Okay. If you don't know about farms, you definitely will want to know about them when Trunk gets back on peg. Our Elephant Money Stampede system, all right, that changed to a way more sustainable, awesome model. It's very similar to futures. Okay. If you have not migrated over to the new version of Stampede, you want to do that. Okay. As of right now, about 3,600 wallets have still not migrated over. All right. So some of those I'm sure are very small wallets, but you want to kind of get back into action. All right. Because crazy things are going to be happening. All right. With the herd. And guys, right here, we have our new contract called Trumpet, and that's kind of replaced the old just native staking of Trunk model. All right. So if you're still in native staking, all right, it's about 2.45 million Trunk still in there. Get that out, put it to work. All right. So this is a really great option for, capitalizing on your liquid Trunk if you want to keep it liquid. Okay. All right, so guys, so how Trunk operates, all right? So you're gonna buy and sell Trunk on Pancake Swap, okay, right now. All right, and we're getting a little less than 16 cents, okay, per Trunk. All right, so it's below peg or that targeted $1 range, okay? Now, how you also can buy and redeem Trunk is through the elephant.money site, okay? Now, buying on the site, that is called minting Trunk, all right? That fuels Bertha, which is the elephant treasury, all right? So when people start minting again, just the amount of price appreciation and buy pressure that creates for the treasury is super healthy. All right, and that's how most of these products are going to be supported with the combination of the minting and from the futures. All right, but right now no minting is taking place because you're not going to want to buy from the site when Trunk is less than $1, okay? Because minting, you always have to pay $1 per Trunk, okay? So don't use this function until we're back at peg. You want to buy on Pancake Swap. All right, so for selling, guys, you can sell Trunk for $1, okay? And that's if you go into the redemption queue, okay? But the redemption queue is funded through an APR of the treasury. And since the treasury is small, a lesser amount of funds is going into that redemption queue. So there's a backlog, all right? You have to wait in line. All right, so you can put up to 10K Trunk in here at a time and redeem for 10K BUSD. All right, so I was already able to take advantage of this when it first launched. I was able to put 1K Trunk in there that I picked up for about, it was like 30 cents each at the time. All right, and got my full 1K from that. And then I was able to put in 10K Trunk that I picked up for about a quarter each. All right, so I'll be getting 10K BUSD back when my turn comes up. All right, but as of right now, it's a very long wait because it's a small amount of funding going through. All right, but it is picking up speed because it picks up speed as the treasury grows because it's an APR of the treasury. All right. Okay, so, but yeah, if you want instant sellage, all right, go there to Pancake Swap, okay? Now, just remember, guys, so we're talking about Trunk, but the play right now, you're going to be able to get way more gains through Elephant Token and futures, and that is actually what gets Trunk back online. So these prices are going to stay relatively depressed until that supply shock occurs, all right? Okay, what happens when we're back at peg though? All right, boom, things are going crazy, okay? Elephant money farms are back to 125% APR, all right? This, my friends, is absolutely disgusting, all right? Because it's no impermanent loss on like blue chip stable coins, BTC, ETH, like, yeah, that's unheard of, okay? Stampede is going to be back to printing 0.5% per day. All right. And guys, the value, the trumpet contract, the mechanics won't change at all. All right. But it will experience that price appreciation of Trunk going back up to $1. Okay. But the way Trumpet works is you just redeem Trumpet for Trunk. All right. So you're just getting paid in Trunk, but the value of that Trunk will be much more than the 16, 15 cents that it is right now. Okay. Also, guys, so when you're buying, okay, so buying now when you're at peg, you can buy from Pancake Swap, but it'll be $1 for $1 if it's on peg, all right, which it should be. Or you can mint, and that fuels Bertha, all right, the treasury. And here's the key, guys, all right, no slippage or Pancake Swap fees, okay? This is huge. A lot of people don't really kind of understand slippage. All right, I'm going to show you an example. But this is going to save a lot of money, especially when you have larger players. Okay, and when we're back on peg, pretty much all of crypto is going to know who we are and going to want to probably get involved. Okay, because there's just great profits to be made. This is basically, it's like an OTC, over the counter, where you're getting, you know, BUSD for every single trunk, 1-to-1, like awesome. Okay, like super, super cool. Okay. Selling, same thing. You can sell on Pancake Swap, or guys, the redemption queue. Now, again, you can only put 10K in at a time, but the design of it is when it's at peg and the treasury is a healthy number, that this is near, in the white paper, it says near frictionless, which means you do not have to wait hardly at all. Okay, so it should be relatively instantaneous. Okay, and so there's no lines here. And again, guys, the no slippage or Pancake Swap. Okay, so you know, if you go over to the Ethereum network, all right, and you start, you know, interacting with liquidity pools over there, like Jared from Subway might come and eat your lunch, right? You know, especially when you're doing big transactions, don't have to worry about that at all. Right through the site, nice and clean. Okay, you can move a lot of money through here and you're good. Okay, so pretty awesome stuff. Okay, all right, so guys, how is it going to be maintained? Okay, so the comeback. Okay, like, all right, we have gone parabolic again. All right, Elephant Token has proven itself to be like the #1 crypto asset. It was in 2022. It's going to be in 2023, and like, it's, you know, it's game on, right? So there's going to be tons of increased demand, okay, for Trunk. All right, the farms is going to be an absolute powerhouse. Like, people don't understand the farms yet. There's less than 1K people in farms. But when farms is at peg, like, it's completely sick. Okay, like there's no better farms like anywhere in the whole entire space. All right, so there's going to be demand, and you cannot get into those farms unless you put Trunk in that farm. Okay, so you have to pay, you have to put Trunk in. Now, yes, the yield is going to be Trunk, but if you want to play and earn some of that yield, you're gonna have to put down a lot of Trunk to get in there. All right, so there's going to be increased demand that way. Stampede, okay, there's going to be increased demand, you know, for Stampede. It's similar to futures. All right, however, guys, like, you're able to interact every time you compound and Stampede. You're going to be added into a really profitable lossless raffle system, so that's going to be like an amazing incentive there as well. And then for Trumpet, so like the yields that you can earn through the system when we are back at peg, because the rates go up, there's no longer the peg adjusted rate, so you get the full percentages. Like, you know, it is absolutely amazing, some of the products that we have here. All right, so the increased demand should establish good buy pressure and also minting. Okay, so when people mint, all right, that's going to fuel the treasury. All right, and that's the key. All right, redemption queue. All right, implemented after the exploit. All right, we're going to see how that's going to play out, but it is very likely that market participants, people could set up arbitrage bots, are going to be able to keep a lot of the peg for us. All right, the level of that $1, and we'll see how that is going to play out in an example. And guys, Elephant Treasury. All right, Bertha. All right, she's the backstop, the payer of last resort. All right, and so she has like 2 key things. So that redemption queue, so she's funding it through a governance strategy. All right, so she is she is going to be funding that redemption queue. 5 to 30% APR on the Elephant Treasury is used to pay outstanding claims in the redemption queue. All right, so as her value and size grows, all right, that APR, whatever her value is, starts to get very, very big. So that's where there's going to be all the funding that's going to be like seamless. Okay, because as the treasury grows, the percentage that she's using to fund that redemption queue gets larger and larger of monetary value. Okay, and then the peg support strategy as well, so she can actually go and she's going to be interacting and buying trunk off of pancake swap to put buy pressure in there. That's going to also help maintain the price. Okay. And what's really cool is she's going to be buying trunk from pancake swap, and then she's actually going to go and deposit that trunk into Trumpet. So she's gonna mint Trumpet, and then she's gonna throw it away. So she's gonna burn the Trumpet. So basically, she's depositing extra trunk into that Trumpet contract. All right, which means the value of everyone's Trumpet goes up even more because the ratio of trunk to Trumpet when you redeem is going to be higher. All right, so pretty awesome stuff, guys. And that's 5% APR on the Elephant Treasury. All right, so as like all throughout our recovery, Bertha has been supporting Peg, but she's been small. All right, so this 5% APR is nowhere near the amount of capital needed to have that over collateralized stablecoin. All right, so there's been a tiny amount of Peg support until that the treasury is rebuilt. All right, and that's the process that we've been going through. All right, okay. So guys, I want to show you guys a little example something that I got really excited about when I started playing around with it. And it is has to do with the redemption queue. Okay, so like say if, right, you want to sell at Peg here. Okay, and say a participant wants to sell 50,000 trunk. Okay, they can go to the redemption queue. All right, and they can put 10K in at a time. All right, and they can get their 50,000 BUSD. All right, so they're getting 1-to-1, and all they have to do is pay like the gas fee. All right, that's huge. Okay, because what I'm going to show you guys is like, say if you go to sell on pancake swap, all right, you're going to incur a fee from pancake swap, 0.25%, and then you open yourself up to slippage. All right, and the larger the transaction, the more slippage you will incur. All right, and so I'll show you how that works. All right, so if you're just not really clear about how slippage works, okay, so here, guys, is our constant product formula. Okay, and so this is gotten from taking the amount of trunk and BUSD that are in our liquidity pool. All right, so we got 2.68 million BUSD and about 17 million trunk tokens in our liquidity pool right now. Multiply them up. Here's our constant. All right, so here's our curve right here. Okay, and if we look, this is where we're at right now. Okay, and basically as transactions occur, here are all the combinations of tokens that will be in our liquidity pool. All right, so it's that mathematical formula that dictates the quantities when people trade in the liquidity pool. All right, so right now we're here, and what we would want to do is to get back to Peg. All right, and Peg would be an equilibrium of 1-to-1 trunk and BUSD. So an equal amount of trunk and BUSD in the liquidity pool. All right, so we would have there. All right, so let's take this guy out of here. All right, and at Peg, all right, so you can see this value on the Dune dashboard. It's like 4.1 million, but you can also, I just did, these two values are equal, y equals x, and here's our amount for what it would be at Peg. So it would be about $6.76 million and 6.76 million trunk. All right, so would have to be in this pool to get it back to Peg. Okay, and that's where our location would be when we're at Peg or equilibrium, where each trunk token was worth 1 BUSD. Okay, all right, so there's our values right there. Okay, All right, so say if you want to sell a larger portion of trunk tokens, okay? So what's going to happen is the trunk tokens are going to go up, all right? So it's going to come up here, and the BUSD is going to go down, all right? So we're going to be moving over here if we're at peg, and then we sell trunk tokens, okay? And say if we're going to sell 50,000, all right? Now here's where this whole slippage thing comes into play, okay? Because if you're like, all right, so I'm going to sell 50,000 trunk, I'm expecting 50,000 BUSD because we're at peg, okay? But what happens, guys, is that you actually pay like every single trunk that goes in, you're getting a different monetary value for. So you're basically sliding down or sliding up this curve, and you're getting every single price along the way. All right, so you don't get a steady one constant rate when you go into a liquidity pool. The price moves, and it moves basically the distance here, and you get like the average cost of all of those. All right, so big values here, you're going to notice the price changes a lot. If you're making very small purchases, then like there's hardly any price difference at all. Okay. But so slippage happens where, especially when you're making large purchases. So this is going to be very attractive, the no slippage, no pancake swap fee, especially for larger participants in the system. All right. So it's very attractive to like big players. You can get OTC deals like from trunk. You don't have to interact with this liquidity pool at all. So it's pretty awesome. All right. So let's see, guys. So what happens is, say if, all right, I put in 50,000 trunk. Okay, so I'm selling it. All right, so my level of trunk goes up 50,000. All right, and I am now no longer at peg. All right, I am up here. Okay, so there's less BUSD, and now there's more trunk in the pool. All right, so there's now about 6.8 million trunk in this liquidity pool. All right, now we're going to use this point to know how much BUSD got sent out to our participants. All right, and there's now 6.707 million BUSD in the pool. Okay, so if we calculate the difference, there was this amount at equilibrium, and then now we're down to this amount. So we were able to pull out 49,632 and 75 cents worth of BUSD. Okay, so we didn't get that full amount because we had movement on our curve. That's slippage. Okay, and then, all right, the participant also has to pay a pancake swap fee. All right, 0.25% is a version 2 pancake swap pool. All right, so you're going to get hit for another little percentage on the value that your transaction was. So you end up taking home $49,508.66. All right, so some of that fee went to pancake swap, some of that fee went to the liquidity provider, all right, which is the protocol owned liquidity of Elephant Money. All right, but so that person, all right, did not get that kind of full value that they would going through the redemption queue. Okay, and what also happens is when you don't go through the redemption queue, all right, the price of trunk actually dropped. Okay, it is no longer worth $1 because there's more of it sitting in that pool. All right, so it actually went down about 1.5 cents. Okay, and all right, so if we see that, guys. All right, so what we do is we can always calculate the price in the liquidity pool, all right, by doing that one value divided by the other value. So the BUSD per trunk, all right, what does it cost per trunk? So you divide by trunk, and notice, guys, that we only have 6.7 million BUSD now, but we have 6.8 million trunks. All right. So when we divide, all right, each trunk is 98.5 cents now. All right. So we're off peg. Okay. So we're off peg. All right. Now what can happen? Okay. Here's what's cool about it, guys, is when that redemption queue is seamless, all right, and frictionless and can happen very quickly and rapidly, there's opportunity here because it's like, I know I can just go to the website and get $1 for this, right? So arbitrage can occur, and any market participant, can see, oh, trunk in the pool is below, is below this amount. And it's not complicated because there's no taxes on trunk. All right. Like when you're trying to arbitrage, between, say, like elephant token, there's taxes on it. All right. Or there's other tokens. Like I know there's some other protocols that have a tax that they have, a pancake swap, and they have their own, pool or vault. And it's like, there's taxes involved. So it's like kind of tricky. Here it's like straight up, just like, oh, it's under $1. I can go change it for $1 on the site. All right. So someone can come in and they can put this $49,632 in. All right. They get hit with the pancake swap fee. All right. But they can still get 50,000 trunk out of this pool. And it costs them just that 49,632 plus the fee. All right. So they're going to be able to profit about $243. All right. Just, and it could, and I'm sure savvy people will set up bots to do this, and they'll be able to restore peg, and then they're going to be able to get profit from the slippage that occurred. Okay. So when I started seeing this and I saw like, oh, if this thing is seamless and you can just, it's guaranteed, you can always go to the site and you can always buy for $1 and sell for $1 and not have to worry about the fees at all and possible slippage if you're putting in like a decent amount. Like, yeah, and it's, it feels Bertha when you're minting it. And then like noticing how that arbitrage can work. It's going to take a lot of pressure off of the buy pressure really that has to come from Bertha on the liquidity pool. All right. And we could even get a situation where the price of trunk actually goes up over $1. All right. In the liquidity pool. All right. Which is, be kind of crazy stuff. So then that makes sense to sell it into there. But yeah, so it's going to be like really, really interesting. So I'm pretty excited actually, because, I'm loving futures and I'm loving elephants. But then once that system pops off, like all these amazing things are going to start opening up again with like the farms, the trumpet, the redemption queue and everything. And it's going to be like just killer system. So I'm super excited, guys. So trunk is definitely, it's on the right track. I mean, it's going to take a little bit more time to get the treasury up, but once that treasury is up and it's sky's the limit, and you're going to be happy that you're in the ecosystem for sure. All right. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will keep everyone updated on all things elephant money this summer, and it's going to be a great summer. All right. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate the support. And until next time, this is Bailey from the EMH. I'm out.